Today I discuss Economics Chapter 3 Money and Credit. Money as a medium of exchange. Money acts as an intermediate in the exchange process. It is called a medium of exchange. A person holding money can easily exchange it for any commodity or service that he or she might want. Modern form of money. In the early age, Indians used grains and cattle as money. Thereafter came the use of metallic coins such as gold, silver, copper coins, a phase which continued well into the last century. Now the modern form of money include currency, paper notes and coins. The modern form of money, currency and deposits are closely linked to the working of the modern banking system. Currency in India, the Reserve Bank of India issues currency notes on behalf of the central government. No other individual or organization is allowed to issue currency. The rupees is widely accepted as a medium of exchange in India. The deposits in the bank account can be withdrawn on demand. These deposits are called the demand deposits. The payment are made by check instead of cash. A check is a paper instruction the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. The other form in which people hold money is an deposits with banks. People deposit their extra cash with the banks by opening a bank account in their name. Banks accept the deposit and also pay an amount as interest on the deposits. Banks keep only a small proportion of their deposits as cash with themselves. These days, banks in India hold about 15% of their deposit as cash. This is kept as a provision to pay the depositors who might come to withdraw money from the bank on any given days. Banks use the major proportion of the deposit to extend loans. There is a huge demand for loans for various economic activities. Banks charge a higher interest rate on loans than what they offer on deposits. The difference between what is charged from borrowers and what is paid to depositors in their main source of income for banks. Credit refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with money, goods or services in return for the promise of future payment. Now I will explain through example that how credit form. Such as Selim obtained credit to meet the working capital needs of production. The credit helps him to meet the ongoing expenses of production, complete production on time, and thereby increase his earnings. In this situation, credit helps to increase earning and therefore the person is better off than before. Second example is in Sapna's case, the failure of the crop made loan repayment impossible. She had to sell part of the land to repay the loan. Credit, instead of helping Sapna improve her earning, left her worse off. This is example of debt trap. Credit in this case pushes the borrower into a situation from which recovery is very painful. Whether credit would be useful or not depends on the risk in the situation and whether there is some support in case of loss. Every loan agreement specifies an interest rate which the borrower must pay to the lender along with the repayment of the principal. In addition, lender also demand collateral against loan. Interest rate, collateral and documentation requirement and the mode of payment together is called the terms of credit. It may vary depending on the nature of the lender and the borrower. Cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's development. The various types of loan can be grouped as formal sector loans and informal sector loans. Formal sector loans, these are the loans from banks and cooperative. The Reserve Bank of India supervise the functioning of formal sources of loans. Banks have to submit information to the RBI on how much they are lending, to whom, at what interest rate, etc. And the informal sector loans, these are the loans from moneylenders, traders, employers, relative, etc. There is no organization which supervise the credit activities. Now I will discuss self groups for the poor. Poor households are still dependent on informal sources of credit because of the following reasons. Number one, banks are not present everywhere in rural India. Second is, even in banks are present, getting a loan from a bank is much more difficult as it requires proper documents and collateral. To overcome these problems, people create SHGs, it means self-help groups. SHG are small groups of poor people which promote small saving among their members. A typical SHG has 15 to 20 members, usually belonging to one neighborhood, who meet and save regularly. Now the few advantages are in self-help groups are: it helps borrower to overcome the problem of lack of collateral. People can get timely loans for a variety of purposes and at a reasonable interest rate. SHGs are the building blocks or organization of the rural poor. It helps women to become financially self-reliant. The regular meetings of the group provide a platform to discuss and act on a variety of social issues such as health, nutrition, domestic violence, etc.